Right, are we ready to go? So can we say the results of that vote, please? So resolution 5 has not been carried. So we will now move on to hear resolution 6 and the amendments relating to resolution 6. You will have the opportunity to hear the original resolution and then each of the amendments in turn, just as we've done already.
We've been asked if we can have a break.
Right, we've been asked if we can have a break. How long do you want? 10 minutes. You can have 10 minutes. So for those of you at home that want to go and get yourself a cup of coffee or a glass of water or stretch your legs, please do so. We'll be doing the same here. And we'll see you back in 10 minutes' time at 15:10. Okay, ladies and gents, we're going to make a start. Can we settle down fairly quickly to please to get a quick start?
You all got coffees and replenishment. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, we're now going to move to hear resolution 6. And thank you all of you online and in the room for bearing with us, for working our way through these amendments, which is important because they have come from the membership and it's good and right that we should hear them all and that you should have a chance to vote on them all. Okay, so we're now going to hear resolution 6, which is proposed by the board of the Third Age Trust. The resolution is as follows. The annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members, based on the number in membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK state pension increase. Liz, you may now read the supporting statement.
This is exactly the same as it was for the first time it was read, but I'll read it again. The Board of Directors for the Third Age Trust are asking the membership to enable us to continue our support and services to the members. The Trust proposes a cost of living increase in the membership fee. We regret having to propose this so soon after the last increase, but feel strongly that it is necessary for the following reasons. When the original budget was set and agreed in the winter 2021, inflation was estimated to be 3%. It's now predicted to reach 10% by the end of the summer. This proposal is not a real terms increase, but a means to keep pace with inflation. The effect of the pandemic, amongst other factors, has resulted in a reduction in u3a membership across the UK by approximately 63,000, and these are not recovering as quickly as expected. More u3as are asking for support from the Trust to get through this difficult period. Without an increase, we shall be unable to maintain the present level of support and services to members. It's appreciated that u3as prefer to plan their budgets well in advance and keep their membership subscriptions as low as possible. Each year, when His Majesty's Government announce any change to the state pension in October, u3as will know what the increase-decrease to the subscription fees will be on 31st March the following year. Therefore, they can plan accordingly in advance of the increase for inflation. The Board asks you to seriously consider the proposal in order to maintain and continue to improve the services are provided both to u3as and their individual members.
Thank you, Liz. We will now hear Amendment 1 to Resolution 6, proposed by Dorking and seconded by Leatherhead. That the words by an amount based on the UK state pension increase be deleted and replaced with the words 2%. The amended wording will read, the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by 2%. This would apply a recurring annual increase of 2% from 2024. The increase applied to 2024 would result in a fee of £4.08. Dorking u3a has asked me to read their supporting statement on their behalf, which I will now do. Neither Dorking and District nor Leatherhead and District u3a are prepared to support either of the Trust subscription increase resolutions as enunciated. We are unhappy agreeing to any proposal that links subscriptions to an index, with resultant automatic annual increases. The Trust should not increase subscription rates year on year without reference to the membership, in the same way that local u3as are answerable to their membership for the use of funds. It falls to the Trust to justify how subscriptions are used and how they benefit individual members. We need to see full transparency from the Trust by presenting a detailed cost budget at the AGM, showing comparison with previous year's expenditure and full predictions. Embedding an index into the Constitution without year-on-year justification of expense may lead to the Trust failing to review and improve efficiency. Both Dorking and Leatherhead u3as have only just put up their subscriptions this year for the first time in 10 years, and we don't want to put them up again to cover such a significant increase from the Trust. We submit our amended resolution in the knowledge that we have not increased our membership fees for over 10 years and do not plan to do so for another year, in order to show that in the present climate, some things are more important than keeping pace with the... Sorry, let me say that sentence again, please. We submitted our amended resolution in the knowledge that we have not increased our membership fee for 10 years and do not plan to do so for another year, in order to show that in the present climate, some things are more important than keeping pace with the rising cost of living. We accept that in freezing membership fees, we leave ourselves the challenge of weighing up what we can and cannot do for our members, but being able to support members at this time is important. We consider reference to the state pension rate disingenuous, given that u3as are endeavouring to recruit younger members no longer in full-time employment, but who may not yet be taking a full pension or pension at all, given the pensionable age is rising. While the Trust has responded that a pension-linked increase is an easily understood and easily applied index, this is not an acceptable response. While u3as support and value the work of the Trust, automatic increases in subscription should not be the only solution considered to keep apace with inflation. The Trust should not use an indeterminate index as the basis of its fee increases. The proposed amendment resolution put forward by Dorking and District u3a considers a percentage increase based on a projected inflation forecast for 2024 and beyond. This would give the Trust an incremental increase year on year. We also feel that this increase should only be implemented from 2024, giving u3as time to plan for the increase and notify their membership accordingly. Given the work done by individual u3as, it's expected that u3a membership as a whole will continue to recover, thereby increasing Trust membership income. Should Trust subscription increases, individual u3as might need to increase their own membership fees, impacting negatively on local membership numbers. You may now vote on Amendment 1 to Resolution 6. Okay, thank you. We are now going to hear Amendment 2 to Ordinary Resolution 6. Amendment number 2 is proposed by Newhaven and Peacehaven and seconded by Littlehampton, and they say that the words "and each year after" be deleted. So the wording would say, the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid-up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased on the 1st of April 2024 by an amount based on the state pension increase. The effect of the resolution is the state pension increase rate, to be set in October 2023, would apply to subscriptions from the 1st of April 2024, but thereafter any further increases would have to come back to the membership. The proposing and seconding u3as feel that this is a clear amendment and that you may move straight to a vote. So you may now vote. We'll now hear Amendment 3 to Ordinary Resolution 6, which is proposed by Pontyclun and seconded by Clitheroe. That the words "by an amount based on the UK state pension increase" be deleted and replaced by an amount based on the inflation rate CPI, current in the previous October but capped at 5%. The amendment resolution will read, the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid-up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the inflation rate CPI, current in the previous October but capped at 5%. This would fix the rate of increase to the CPI rate in the previous October but cap it at 5% from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter. The u3as proposing and seconding this amendment have asked that I read their supporting statement. Some of our younger members will not be receiving state pension yet, and any income they receive may not be increased by inflation. Not all members will be receiving state pension, and occupational pensions and their income will be low, and some members may be receiving state pension credit to top up a low income. Whilst we do realise that the proposed increase will only be £1 or £2 to each individual, if all companies and organisations increase their fees by inflation, this will eventually cancel out any increase in income people receive. With the huge increases in energy bills and higher food bills, some members with lower incomes may decide that the membership of the u3a is not a priority, and if they are struggling to pay their bills, and we could see a decrease in members. So that is the supporting statement in favour of this amendment. You may now move to vote on Amendment 3 to Resolution 6. So we'll now move on to amendment number 4. Sorry, I was just double checking that whether I was supposed to read this statement or not, but I believe I am. Amendment number 4 to Ordinary Resolution 6, proposed by Heath and seconded by Gosport, that the words annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK state pension increase be deleted and replaced with these words: the individual annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their relevant paid up members, based on the total number in their membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and the 1st of April 2025 by an amount calculated using the inflation rate capped at 5% in the UK Consumer Price Index in the previous October in each of these years. This would set the increase in 2024 and in April 2024 and April 2025 at CPI in the previous October, but cap the increase to 5% for those years 2024 and 2025. I'm now going to speak on behalf of Les Hill from Heath to speak on behalf of Heath and Gosport. This amended resolution is based on the assumption that when the Trust issued their latest accounts and budget, these would justify the need for an increase in the membership subscription. This amended resolution is designed to offer a compromise to the Trust resolution with its open-ended annual increases, the use of the state pension as a financial index, and a vaguely stated basis of how any increase would be calculated. The idea of an automatic increase each year, without discussion with member u3as, is contradictory to the Trust's previous method of handling increases. For most u3as to hear about the proposed increase by publishing it first as an AGM resolution is not acceptable. The use of the state pension cannot be justified as it's not a true financial index. The government can amend the operation of the triple lock to suit their political aims or the effect on the government finances, and have already done so. The triple lock includes an automatic 2.5%, which applies even if the other two indices do not justify an increase. This means that under the Trust's original resolution, they would still have a guaranteed 2.5% increase every year. If the Trust is insisting on using a financial index in their calculations, a better alternative is required, and we are proposing the Consumer Price Index. It is one of the indices in the triple lock, but it's free from government interference. It is well known, being quoted regularly in the media, is updated regularly, and is commonly used as cost-price calculations. It therefore seems a more suitable index. We accept that introducing a more formalised method of calculating increases to the membership subscriptions is something the Trust is entitled to propose. Excuse me just a minute. As what could be an alternative to each year increase, this amended resolution suggests a 2-year trial period which could supply increases each year for the Trust, but at amounts that u3as can estimate as they can track movement of the Consumer Price Index in each financial year. This trial period would also provide the time for the Trust and individual u3as to discuss and agree how these subscriptions are calculated going forward. Thank you. You will now be able to vote on Amendment 4 to Ordinary Resolution 6. We will now hear Amendment 5 to Ordinary Resolution 6. Amendment 5 is proposed by Royston u3a and seconded by Tring u3a. That Resolution 6 be deleted and replaced with the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid-up members based on the number of membership on the 31st of March be increased from the 1st of April 2024 by the rate of increase to the CPI rate in the previous October, but capped at 5%, with no increase for any subsequent year, unless and until member u3as vote on a resolution to approve a specific amount of increase by simple majority at an annual general meeting or an extraordinary general meeting of the Third Age Trust. Such vote not to be held before the Third Age Trust has issued to member u3as detailed accounts for itself and all its subsidiary companies for the year ended the 31st of March prior to the publication of that resolution. This would cap the increase at 5% for the year commencing April the 1st, 2024, with no further increase without a vote of the members. I'll now call upon Jackie Gerlach to speak for the amendment.
This amendment, proposed by me and seconded by Rob Jones of Tring, is a far more viable alternative to the Trust proposal in resolution number 5. We believe that the Trust proposal is ill thought out and lacks real financial justification. Inflation affects us all, and somehow we all have to find the means to cope without resorting to passing it on to others. Regrettably, our perception is that the Trust has not engaged with members to find a mutually acceptable solution in real financial terms. We do, however, recognise that the Trust has to be properly funded to be able to operate, but at the same time, we also recognise that the Trust has exceedingly healthy reserves. Allocated details of what the plans are for this pot of money are somewhat lacking. In short, it is apparent that the Trust has not been sufficiently effective in managing its finances, either historically nor, undoubtedly, during the current turbulent times. And this is simply not good enough. Therefore, we would encourage you to vote for this amendment that does provide additional funding for the Trust in 2024, but is capped and ensures that any future increases from 2025 onwards would need to be voted on by the membership.
Jackie, I now call upon Rob Jones to second the amendment.
Hi everybody, I hope you can hear me okay.
We can.
I'm seconding this proposal as what I want is a successful organisation that is effective and efficient going forward. While I recognise there are a lot of very good people that volunteer in the Trust, their communication with all u3as is perceived as being somewhat closed and insufficient, with insufficient consultation, such as their proposals to increase the membership fee using an unacceptable benchmark of the state pension. My u3a Tring has a good mix of members, and it's my role to lead my committee to provide members with the maximum value from their membership fee. We don't need to make a profit as such and run at break even or even a slight deficit, and are conscious to spend every penny as though it was our own. It is. This is what I want to see the Trust do, and I hope that this is a wake-up call that creates a realisation that certain practices have to change. I commend this amendment to you and encourage you to vote for it, and look forward to more healthy discussions with the Trust to work more openly and effectively with all u3as. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Rob. You may now be able to vote on Amendment 5 to Ordinary Resolution 6. Okay, thank you very much. We are now moving on to Amendment 7 to Ordinary Resolution 6. This is proposed. Sorry. We are indeed. Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. We are now moving on to Amendment 6 to Ordinary Resolution 6. And this is proposed by Crickhowell and seconded by Pontyclun. That the words by an amount based on the UK state pension increase be deleted and replaced with the words by an amount based on the inflation rate, CPI, current in the previous October but capped at 10%. The amended resolution wording will read: the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members, based on the number in membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the inflation rate CPI, current in the previous October but capped at 10%. This would fix the rate of increase to CPI in the previous October but capped at 10% from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter. The proposing and seconding u3as have asked that I read out their supporting statement on their behalf, which I will now do. Crickhowell and District recognise that an increase in membership subscription is essential for the Trust to remain financially stable, and that such an increase should be linked to inflation in ordinary times. However, we do not support linking the increase to the UK state pension increase. For each u3a to remain sustainable, we need to attract new members in the lower age brackets. People are no longer eligible for their state pension at 60 or 65, but at 67 plus. This is not to mention the huge disservice to women, in particular, who have suffered substantial financial loss due to the increase in the age of eligibility imposed over the last 20 years. We have members who, although retired, do not yet receive the state pension and who feel offended by the suggestion of linking member subscriptions to it. We are not living in ordinary times, and no inflation will exceed 10% in the near future, and members are worried about their rising living costs. If we are to retain them and attract new membership, the annual increase should be capped. So you may now vote on Amendment 6 to Ordinary Resolution 6. Okay, good. Good. Right, we'll now hear Amendment 7 to Ordinary Resolution 6. This is proposed by Great Glen and seconded by Glenfield. That the words for each of their paid-up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK state pension increase be deleted and replaced with be increased by 10% from the 1st of April 2024. So the amended resolution will read: the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid-up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 be increased from the 1st of April 2024 by 10%. This would increase membership fees by 10% from the 1st of April 2024, so that would be £4.40. I now call upon Peter Russell to speak to the amendment.
Good afternoon. Our amendment is put forward for the following reasons. Firstly, most u3as have already planned their finances for the coming year before resolutions 5 and 6 were announced. And it is then unreasonable to expect those u3as to accommodate increases not previously notified. So we are against any increase in 2023. Secondly, the principle of annual automatic increases in capitation fees without the need for justification is rejected. In the 21 years Great Glen has existed, in most years there's been no increase in our subscriptions, and the concept of an annual automatic increase is unacceptable. Thirdly, in the trust document entitled AGM 2022, Business Case and Supporting Financial Information for Ordinary Resolutions, it is stated that the projected deficit for the coming year can be covered by the use of reserves, without the value of reserves falling below the recommended level. The relevant text states, overall, this will create a deficit in the year of 464,000, which will reduce our cash asset level from 2,057,000 to 1,593,000, still above our reserves level of 1,300,000. One of the reasons organisations build reserves is to see them through downturns. We feel that the conditions faced by all u3as, as well as the trust over the past 2 years, justifies the drawing from the trust's reserves rather than local u3as being expected to fund this shortfall. Notwithstanding these points, we are not hiding from the difficult financial position the trust and all u3as are facing in the future. Therefore, we are proposing a fixed increase in the capitation fee of 10% in 2024. Announcing this now provides adequate time for all u3as to include the change in their own financial planning. Thank you.
You may now vote on Amendment 7 to Ordinary Resolution 6. Okay, well done everyone. We're now on Amendment 8 to Ordinary Resolution 6. And this is proposed by Todmorden and seconded by Clitheroe and Burnley u3a. That the words "and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK's state pension increase" be deleted and replaced with "be increased by £4 to £4.40 per member from the 1st of April 2024. Further increases will be agreed as at the annual general meeting. In proposing such increases, the trustees will bear in mind the administrative and financial burden on local u3as of regular changes to subscription rates." So the amended resolution will read: the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members, based on the number in membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 by 40p to £4.40 per member from the 1st of April 2024. Further increases will be agreed at an annual general meeting. In proposing such increases, the Trust will bear in mind the administrative and financial burden on local u3as of regular changes to subscription rate. This would increase the subscription rate to £4.40 from the 1st of April 2024. I've been asked to read the following statement, proposed by Todmorden and seconded by Clitheroe and also Burnley, which I will now do. Oh gosh. Todmorden u3a's proposed amendments address our profound disagreement with the trustees' proposal and the thinking behind them. We do not agree with the annual percentage increase. These go up exponentially each year, taking an ever large proportion of our membership subscriptions. We accept that an increase may now be necessary, but would prefer a delay to 2024, and the amount should be specified. We have proposed a 40p on the existing rates. We object strongly to tying increases to the state pension rate. While the trustees talk about an inflationary increase, this is not as what's being proposed. The increase in state pension is the higher of inflation, average earnings, or 2.5%. This triple lock is meant to address the fact that the state pension is inadequate to live on and is wholly inappropriate as a method of setting membership fees. We disagree most strongly to an annual increase being made automatic, without reference back to the member u3as that fund it. This is undemocratic, and as charity trustees ourselves, we object to this loss of control over our finances. The final part of our amendment refers to the financial and administrative burden on member u3as of regular increases. We feel it's essential that this point is made to the trustees. When the trust raises its membership fees, it just sends an invoice to each u3a. Local committees, whether we agree with the increase or not, have to explain it to our members and collect individual subs. If we do not raise our own rates to match these above inflation rises, then the extra has to come out of our reserves, which we have raised and earmarked for other purposes, including our own increased costs. At Todmorden, we have not raised our subscriptions since 2008, and payments to the trust now account for half of our income. We have been planning an increase in 2023, but put it back a year, as we don't feel we can burden our members with extra costs at this time. We hope the trustees will take a similar approach to future increases. You will now be able to vote on Amendment 8 to Ordinary Resolution 6. I need a tissue. Okay, so once again, a very huge apologies to my total failure there. So we'll now move on to Amendment 9 to Ordinary Resolution 6. And this is proposed by Malvern and Dronfield u3as and seconded by Worcester and Chesterfield u3as. And they have asked that the words be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK state pension increase be deleted and replaced with be increased to £4.50 from the payment due 1st of April 2024. So the revised wording will read: the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid up members, based on the number of membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased to £4.50 effective from the payment due April 1st, 2024. So this would increase the subscription rate to £4.50 from the 1st of April 2024. It would increase the subscription rate to £4.50 from the 1st of April 2024. I know William Colsher was originally hoping to read this statement for himself, but he is unable to now, so he's asked me to read it for him. Our amendment to the resolution seeks to change the proposed link between u3a membership fees and an external index over which we have no control. The resolution, as it stands, proposes to maintain this link indefinitely in the future, sealing in an annual rise in membership fees, no matter what the prevailing circumstances nationally or the financial position of the u3a in that year. Income at national and local level in the u3a is driven very much by membership numbers, and we've seen these fall during the recent COVID pandemic. However, we've also seen this year a substantial recovery. Keeping those numbers growing, or at least stable, is helped by a relatively low cost of entry for new members. An automatic annual rise in fees will not aid this. We think it would be better for the board to retain the present flexibility they have and to recommend specific increases when the organisation has a need to do so, to meet widely supported expenditure objectives. The board would also then be free to take into account the financial position of the u3a and the wider economic circumstances for the year in question. We are recommending a specific increase of 50p per member with effect from the 1st of April 2024, and this would allow time for numbers to recover more fully and for individual u3as to budget for such an increase. I'll now read the following statement from Worcester, who is seconding the amendment. They say the wording included in the supporting papers captures what we would want to say, namely, we do not think it's a good idea to tie the level of annual subscription for our organisation to an external factor over which we have no control. We believe it would be better for the Third Age Trust to periodically weigh up the prevailing circumstances and the financial situation of the Trust before making a specific recommendation to the members about the level of annual subscription. You will now be able to vote on Amendment 9 to Resolution 6. Okay, you'll now hear the final amendment, Amendment 10, to Resolution 6. And this is proposed by Chipping Norton and supported by Banbury. That Resolution 6 be deleted and replaced with the annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust on behalf of each of their paid-up members in April of each year be increased to £5 per member with effect from April 1st, 2024. The proposing and seconding u3as have asked I read their supporting statement on their behalf, which I will now do. The Third Age Trust membership subscriptions why an increase of £1. Currently, every u3a member contributes £4 to the upkeep of the movement each year as part of their annual u3a subscription. This covers the administration of the movement, including insurance, licences, advice and support provided by a small staff, including training through workshops, annual conference, AGM, cultural and educational events, subject and learning advice. There's been only one increase of 50p in 12 years. The proposed increase of £1 would be effective from April 24, so u3as have time to prepare. Since the 50p increase was proposed in 2022, the world has changed and inflation has rapidly increased. The Treasurer has already informed that an increase in 2024 in line with inflation will result in the u3a going into debt. Even a 10% inflation-linked increase will only give a 40p increase, hence our suggestion of £1. This is the Third Age Trust's main source of income. It receives no external funding from government or sponsorship. The reserves can't be raided as they have been consistently close to the minimum legally required by the Charity Commissioners. One benefit COVID has produced is working from home, and the u3a staff currently work 4 days a week at home and come into the office once a week. This has enabled the Trust to move to a smaller and cheaper office. Similarly, Zoom has enabled the Trust to hold some of their meetings in hybrid format, hence reducing travelling time and cost. Our nearest equivalent charity is the WI. Their subscription is £44 and they have 190,000 members and 50 staff. The average u3a subscription is £20 and there are about 400,000 members and less than 20 staff. So each u3a staff member is responsible for 4 times as many members as their opposite number in the WI. We're getting good value for money. The Trust Development Plan was put in place before COVID, the Ukraine and soaring inflation. The Trust has come into the modern age and invested in modern technology so it can improve office procedures, including accounting procedures, and provide access to numerous sources of subject information to assist interest group leaders, subject advisors and members, as well as providing a dynamic, informative website. It is illustrated by the 11,000 downloads from their website so far this year, of material assembled or written by staff and volunteers. Beacon has made life so much easier for secretaries, membership secretaries and chairs of u3a to use it, and there is no cost to those who don't. We encourage you to vote for this one-off increase of £1 to keep the u3a on an even keel, and we encourage the u3a to come to the 2023 AGM, when we hope there will be more financial stability in the world, with a simple budget and a crystal clear rationale for any further increase in membership subscriptions. You will now be able to vote on Amendment 10 to Resolution 9. 6. Sorry. You'll now be able to vote on Resolution 10. No, on Amendment 10. On Amendment 10 to Resolution 6. Yeah. Right, okay, you will now be able to see the results of all of the amendments. So, as no amendment has been passed by a simple majority, we will now move to vote on Resolution 6. I would like to remind you of the wording of Resolution 6. The annual membership subscription paid by member u3as to the Third Age Trust for each of their paid-up members, based on the number in membership on the 31st of March each year, be increased from the 1st of April 2024 and each year thereafter by an amount based on the UK's state pension increase. You are now able to vote on Resolution 6. Right. Okay. Okay, we can now show the results for the vote on Resolution 6. So I would like to say that Resolution 6 has not been carried, so I will now pass to the Chair, Liz Thackeray. Thank you very much for working with us through those 2 resolutions and all the amendments.
My script says, Liz to ad-lib if all amendments fail. I'm not sure what's been put up by it, but yesterday I said if we got to that situation, then I wanted a crying face on the mojo on the screen. But, you know, I think we've got to look very seriously at what has happened this afternoon. The board has got to look at it seriously, but I think all of us who are part of any u3a need to be ensuring that our u3as also look carefully at what has happened and at the process that we've that has led us here. Clearly, there are things that we need to learn from the trust, but there's also, I think, things that u3as also have to learn, and which together we need to ensure that we do something about our communications to make sure that we understand each other, what each other is saying and where we're going in the future. So I know it's been a painful and a boring and a tedious experience this afternoon. I want to thank you for your humour and support and for the, you know, the body language that's been here, which has been both showing a real state of frustration, but at the same time, a degree of humour, and I want to thank you for that. And we do need to look at where we're going from here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thank various people for various things, but to say after that, there will be a break of about 5 minutes, and then those of you who've still got the will to live, we would love to invite you to share in a plenary with us where we want to be able to share some of the positive things of the ways we're looking to the future. But I fully accept that by now some people are going to be so brain dead that the last thing they want is to sit in this room for a moment longer, so we'll see what happens. What I will tell you is that whether or not we have any audience for the plenary, we will still continue with it on the basis that we can film it and then make that available as a YouTube. So it's not something which is going to be lost, but there is something we really do want to be able to share with membership and to work with in the future. So I want to thank Sam, not only for your wonderful performance this afternoon, and I don't think, I know I couldn't have had that stamina to do what Sam's done. But I'd also like to move a vote of thanks to those of our trustees who are finishing their terms of service today. Michaela Moody, who has retired as Vice Chair, John Bent, Jean Hogg and Anne Keating. I also want us to thank all the trustees for all the work that both the Third Age trustees do during the course of the year, but also all of you who are trustees of your own local u3as, because it's not everybody who is involved in taking that responsibility is giving very often over the odds to our movement, and our movement wouldn't be what it is without that contribution of the trustees. And though it's invidious to mention specific members of staff, there are 2 members of staff that I want to specifically mention, which is not to say that not all staff who are here today and others that are back in the office haven't made a huge contribution to the preparation and the work on this AGM. But there are two people in particular I want to mention, and I would like them both to stand up when their name is mentioned, though they will probably hate me for it. And one of them is Alistair. Alistair, show yourself. Now, the reason I'm mentioning Alistair particularly is not only has he been the person who has enabled us through the whole process of the AGM, from the contract with the team behind us who attend to it, who have been doing all the technical side of things, but yesterday was his birthday and he decided that rather than not coming here, he wanted to see the end of the process and to join us for the AGM. I hope it's been worth it, mate. And the other person I'm going to single out, who's probably going to hate me even more, is Julie. Yeah. Stand up, Nick. You should have seen the dirty look she just gave me. But Julie is the person who makes the room bookings, does all the organisation of behind the scenes and in person of all the things that we're doing. And as I say, this is not singling these two out because others don't, because others do. And you've seen all the folk in blue T-shirts today dashing around doing all manner of things. But I think those two individuals do deserve a very special mention for all the time and effort that they put in and going the second mile. So I would like us to give everybody, our trustees, our retiring trustees, and and all our members of staff, a round of applause. And with that, thank you everybody, and I now declare the formal part of our AGM closed, and let's move on from here.